Thanks very much, Vanessa, for your time, and thanks for coming in. Let's talk about you first. I mean, your return to South Africa. You had a little girl at the time who was born in prison. She was brought back here, and you hadn't seen her for all that time. So you came back when she was quite grown up. Now, for you coming back, when you walked through the doors of that airport, did you have a moment where you thought, I can't do this, I don't want to do this?
No, I actually did struggle when I was still in the aircraft. I was having an anxiety attack, but I taught myself how to control it, and I was just like, I can't believe that I made it home alive and sane. So stepping off that plane and seeing my family, seeing my friends, seeing my daughter, that she's 16 years old, I mean, I had a lot of mixed emotions. I was happy to be home, sad for the girls I left behind, and also for starting this new life. And my concern was, will I be able to be a mom? Will I be able to find a job? Will I be able to integrate back into society and start life again? I had a lot of questions, but it was good to be home.
So you've been back home for what? What's it, 9 years now?
Yeah, it's going for 9 years now.
What was it like for you? Did you constantly feel like people were watching you? Did you feel like people were judging you? Were they waiting to see whether you were a drug addict, whether you would have a drink, or whether you'd smoke a joint or something? You know, were you always conscious of what you were doing and what people might be thinking you were doing?
You know, that was what I was concerned about. Like, will people accept me? Will I come back? What will they be saying? What they will be thinking? But I must say, I had people really like accepting me and welcoming me back to South Africa. It's only when I had some radio interviews that I had people that had concerns like, are you guilty, were you guilty, and stuff like that. And I do understand, because I do also anti-drug campaigns. And drug destroy families, it destroy young people. I mean, it destroy a lot of people's lives and take lives. So I do understand with people who have that kind of thinking or ill feelings towards you. But coming back was not easy at all.
And prisons in Thailand are harsh. I mean, prisons anywhere are harsh, but in Thailand specifically, you know, and you're the second person I know who's been in a Thai prison, and you just hear about it. And I mean, you've got the language barrier as well, and you've got all of that. I mean, what does it do to a person's spirit? I mean, no matter what your crime was, no matter how you ended up there, whether it was intentional or whether there's still question marks like they are hanging over your case as well, what does it do to you? Do you definitely come back a vastly changed person?
You know, the prison can either break you or it can build you. It depends on you, because I mean, there was a time that I couldn't handle my situation and I fell into a deep depression. I suffered from anxiety and panic attacks. And yes, I had some suicidal thoughts because of the pain and the suffering. It was so long, you know. And what has really kept me and what really has brought me back, you know, from that hospital bed is when I realized that I have a daughter at home that is waiting for me. I have a family that is waiting for me. And I just got my power and my strength from God to be able to get up and start fighting again. But it can destroy you. I have seen many people really how that prison has brought them down and how the prison has caused others to get stronger and to be able to use that situation for the benefit of others.
Now, you know, everybody has a lapse in judgment, whether, you know, Nolubabalo was aware of what she was getting herself into. People are going to say, yes, they were in your dreadlocks. There's no way you couldn't have known. You know, it wasn't something that was slipped into your suitcase, that kind of thing. Whatever her circumstances were, what would be your advice to her about how to use what she's been through to get through the rest of her life?
Mostly is to reach out to the young people, you know, to really warn them about trusting people and be able to take chances like that, because it's not easy being in that place. Your family suffer, your children suffer, you yourself suffer. You can even lose your life in that place because you're not free and you don't have the facilities if you're sick or the finances to be able to take care of yourself. And I would tell her that, you know, she must face freedom head on, because once you are housebound, it's very difficult for you to be released from that fear that is holding you back.
She needs to get out there.
Yes, and she really needs to get out there, and she really just have to look at the second chance that she got to really live a life and make the best of it.
Now, I know reading from your experience, you said, you know, one of the best things for you was you couldn't get enough of the food that was presented to you other than prison food.
Yeah.
I mean, would you say the first thing for her to do is to go out to a lovely restaurant and just order everything off the menu?
You know what? You just want to eat everything, but you know what? Because of my tummy, I stopped eating at like past 4 because as I was teaching aerobics. So I actually ended up in Sunning Hill Hospital because I wasn't used to eating that late, so it really affected me. But you know what? Like the 2 things I still enjoy today is a hot bath and a bed. So she is really going to enjoy a bed. I know her body's going to go through pain because from physical pain, from the floor to a bed, my body was in pain to get used to the bed that I was sleeping on. Also a hot bath. You're not used to hot water. You bath in cold water. And, you know, I jumped out the first time, you know, but you can't get me out of a bath now. You know, that is just heaven for me. You know, there's a lot of things that she would really realize. I only realized where I was when I came home, and I realized the privileges I had. That, wow, even to go to the bathroom behind closed doors, that alone is something. So it will only hit her afterwards when she realized and look back, like, how did I survive that? And, but she will make it. The fact that she's free already, that is already such a big, huge blessing.
And she's already said, you know, she wants to educate other young people and talk to them about just, you know, why this is something you should just not get yourself involved in. Well, thank you very much, Vanessa. We are going to have that coffee and cake.
No,
when
definitely.
we spoke, what was it, 7 years ago, we said we would. And we're going to get out there. But let's just hope you don't end up in hospital this time.
No, definitely not.
Thanks very much.
No,
for your
you're
time.
welcome. Thank you.